There you have it. Team Caliber are your CWL Dallas Open champions. And Team Caliber will go back-to-back. They are your CWL New Orleans Grand Champions.
TK is able to stay on top. The competition is getting better and better.
How long can Team Caliber stay on top? Can they potentially three-peat?
Maybe they won't be able to do it again.
Do you have any final words for your fans here?
Get used to this. We're going to keep doing it all year.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Call of Duty World League here in Atlanta, and I know there's a crowd out there. It's going to be a great weekend here.
We've got so much competition, North America, EU, APAC as well.
All of the coverage to you guys live watching from around the world.
There's so many good games coming up. Oh my, I cannot wait.
It's going to be one to remember with $200,000 on the line. The time is now. We're set. The teams are set. Let's get it started.
Wake up! It's time for CWL Atlanta day number 2, and my goodness, this is one of my favorite days. Yeah, everybody likes to talk about Championship Sunday. Yeah, gets all the glitz, the glamour, we get to crown a new champion. But today, this is the day that we get to test teams that we do not get to see in the CWL Pro League on the reg. We get to actually seed in those teams from the open bracket into pools, and the first match is going to be doing just that. My name is Rich. I'm going to be casting this one with Dirk, and Dirk, you're the perfect one to cast this match. You got to cast a lot of the national circuit matches, and this is actually a matchup that we saw in the national circuit.
Yeah, this was two teams who they had their struggles in the national circuit. I mean, everybody going into the national circuit like, oh, Complexity should be able to take this one easy. They missed out on the playoffs. And Ghost, it was really just it was a horror story for them throughout the entirety of it. They looked very shaky. I know that when it came to the 2Ks, the Pro League challenges, they were able to turn things up. But for me, it was just the big thing is that in the national circuit, what was really hindering their performance? Why weren't they able to compete at the top two? So you have guys who just had national circuits they really want to forget. And now coming into here, this is a matchup that I wanted. I wanted two national circuit teams to come in here to fight for a pool play spot, and we have that with Complexity and Ghost Gaming.
I mean, the thing is, too, if you're not familiar with these rosters, these are not necessarily rosters that you expect to be in the national circuit or coming out of the open bracket. You got some high-powered teams coming out here to wake up with this morning. So for anyone who hasn't actually gotten to peek at these rosters, who hasn't looked at Cole, who hasn't looked at Ghost Gaming, what can they expect from these teams?
Just a lot from Complexity. I mean, it's going to be led by Parasite. He's going to be the vocal leader, kind of just calling the shots for the entirety of the team. He's going to be joined by Dashy, Fellow, and Study. They're going to be the guys who are going to be running around. They're playing that really aggressive, some of them some machine gun role. Dashy's going to be playing that aggressive AR role for the side of Complexity. And Ghost Gaming, they've had their fair share of roster switches, but now they've found a roster that works out with Panda God RX as well as Lacefield, and then Mox kind of being that young vocal leader. A guy who broke out in Black Ops 3 that everybody's loved too. So we'll get a look at this map set going on in. I talked to Mox before the game. I just said, what's kind of your strategy going here forward, specifically with the map vetoes? They're targeting Parasite for this, which I think is something pretty good. Parasite's a guy, if you're able to slow him down, you can get him going on tilt. From that point on, it's going to be easy. So in the map vetoes, London Docks, they said they wanted these maps to go through. They were trying to get Valkyrie, but Complexity banned that one out. So these first two maps, I think, are huge for Ghost. They take these, they're in a good set to go for the series. They have a little bit of a way to go. And then Ardent Forest is going to be the next three maps that we'll see if we go the distance. And that's where I feel like for Ghost Gaming, it might get a little bit shaky.
Yeah, and we're going to jump right into the action here as well. Do want to note, this isn't in Pool A. That was a little thing on the graphic. We are not in a pool yet. That's what we're trying to figure out with this matchup, which pool that these teams could potentially go into. I believe we heard earlier this morning if Complexity wins, they actually will be slotted into Pool A. We still are waiting on a few more variables to figure out if Ghost Gaming, if they are able to win, where they would go. But keep that in mind as we do start this matchup. I'm excited to see. I know what this Complexity roster can do for the most part, right? I'm excited for this Ghost Gaming roster. Haven't gotten to look at it as much. Panda and GodRX have had their fair share of new teams throughout this season. I think they started out on Rogue, and that Rogue team constantly making their way out of the open bracket. Then they actually get on that new squad for a little while. I think it was only for the Canada event they actually were going to be playing with Enigma 6, and now they're here on Ghost Gaming, and early kills coming in right now, and Ghost Gaming going to lock down a few seconds here on this Statue Hill.
And we'll see what they're going to be able to do. Things just going back and forth between these sides, so 30 seconds to play for. We can see Complexity. They already have the next hill in mind. They have that control. They get right back onto Statue, but there's still one player being a nuisance. That's going to be GodRx. He's heating up. He's on a 4-kill streak. They're targeting the player over there towards that lower docks, but as you can see, the bottom right side of your minimap, Complexity, they still do have control of the spawns, but now this is where GodRx needs to go big in this 1 versus 1. Dashy goes on top, but now you're starting to see a split spawn, so every kill at this point in time, it's going to go the other way, but Ghost Gaming, they're still spawning on that lower docks. It's going to be an easier path to try to get off this firebox, and we talked to Ghost Gaming, we said they're trying to target Complexity, making them play on these fast-paced maps. You have Fellow, Dashy, and Study who are going to be playing hyper-aggressive. It's a bold strategy to target just one player in Parasite, but Dashy's been a guy who, even at the beginning of the year, had slow teams that played with him. He's always had that great individual performance, and look for him to carry this over into CW Atlanta as well.
There's just so much to prove here for both of these teams right now. So many players that just haven't had a chance to really prove themselves all the way, and as we make our way over to this next hill, we can see Complexity has that early lead, but they're not able to establish control here. GodRx, who's just been a key factor for Ghost Gaming on the hill for a little bit, gets a few crucial kills, but is taken down. And this hill is just going back and forth. It's been a contest fest on absolutely every hill. If you look at the kill feed, it's just swapping back and forth trades over and over again.
Yeah, I mean, we're about to go to our 3rd hill as well, and the score is only 30-21 and rising for Complexity. It's a very, very low-scoring hardpoint for what we've seen so far, but it just shows you the back-and-forth action that we're seeing. You see Complexity on the bottom left side. They're getting ready to possibly make a push towards this lower docks to get a break, but the setup that Ghost Gaming has is going to be a complete 4-man spread. They have that lower docks pinned down, that mid-cut as well. We'll see how they opt to play this defense.
This is where you break up the rhythm right here. Ghost Gaming should be able to establish a foothold. You can easily turn this into a money hill, and you can see they have a really good hold right now. Pander's going to be creeping around, going to be able to find some kills. That's going to buy them quite a bit of time, and all of a sudden Ghost Gaming going to be able to turn around the table. They're going to pull ahead again inside of this game. And now it's up to Complexity. It's going to be a long run back, and Ghost Gaming has a solid hold. Study going to try to get that breach started, gets that frag, but now it's just GodRx doing what GodRx does. Pander grabs the 2-piece as well. This duo's popping off.
Look at that 4-kill streak for GodRx, make it 5 now. Pander has 2, and Lacefield has a kill to his own, but that entire stretch, it was just Ghost Gaming and your kill feed nonstop. They had Complexity pinned to that bottom right side of the map. From that point, you have 3 choke points you can push through, and Ghost Gaming had every single one of those locked down. They now have a flawless rotation going into the back. 1 player still being a nuisance and Study towards this coal area, but now 2 players do break into barrels. Lacefield going to be the next player to push inside for Ghost Gaming. He's going to fall, but you see Mox doing everything he can to anchor. He's staying alive, but he's going to be left all by his lonesome to fight off 2 players from Complexity.
Oh my goodness, I mean, they actually come back. They know just how important it is to try to break up those spawns. Now it is going to be Fellow who tries to hold that position, but a lot of the damage already done for Ghost Gaming. They're able to break the hill, and now they're able to get the kill as well, and it's going to be Pander in the back. He is taken out, but it looks like this is still a relatively favorable spawn. You don't have the back spawn, but still able to get right back into barrels without a problem, and Ghost Gaming all of this time just racking up points. They crack 100. They've looked so dominant these past 2 hills. Complexity needs to figure something out before Ghost Gaming runs away with this game.
And it's just one of those things too, is that Ghost Gaming right now, they're doing everything right. When it comes to the early rotations, they're getting that set up. They're allowing their submachine gun players to push out those cuts. As soon as Complexity spawns, they get about 10 seconds to where they're alive. Ghost Gaming slays it out and spawns them out as well. You see another early rotation coming in this time. Lacefield is going to be at the next hill already with GodRx. They're forcing Complexity to go for that scrap time. And look at this. They're pushed up so high on the map, but 1 player did just spawn there. Study can break this entire setup that Ghost Gaming has. Well, never mind.
You do not want to get the back spawns that late, and then they do, and ultimately it is Ghost Gaming who manages to have pretty much a perfect hill there. Pretty much a perfect hold, and still gets over to Doc's Crane nice and early. Now they're going to be vying for those spawns, but you can see it was actually Dashy who's still spawning all the way back there. Such a long trek for Complexity to try to get over to this hill. 153 to 49 right now. Ghost Gaming just really, you can start to see why they picked this map.
Definitely can. I mean, just everything about it's like a well-oiled machine right now for Ghost Gaming, and this is a map during the national circuit that did look a little bit shaky for them in the earlier stages. I know as the weeks just went on and that they started to improve, but they wanted this map against Complexity. They allowed it to get through, and now Complexity, they're basically making them pay for it. They're not even over 50 points yet. They're only 1 second away, but Ghost Gaming dominated that entire hill. They dominated barrels. They dominated warehouse. Things were so close, too, before heading into those hills.
Well, that's why I'm excited to see on this new rotation how these next 2 hills are going to look. They were so contest heavy. Right now we are going to see Complexity gets the first footing here, but before we jumped into this map, we even mentioned The reason Ghost Gaming locked this one in against Complexity was to keep Parasite inside of a cage. He's the only member of his team right now who's actually positive. Ghost Gaming completely outslaying Complexity at this time. Right now they're going to get a few extra seconds. That's just some change for them as they do grab a couple seconds on Statue. Ghost Gaming right now. This is a little bit less contest heavy than we saw the first time around, but Complexity, they entered this at 49 seconds. They're able to grab a quick 20 here. We still got a little bit of scrap time left on Statue as well.
The thing I like from Ghost Gaming, they lost control of the hill, but you saw the break that it had, and when it comes down to getting that Statue hill, it all goes down to lower docks. You take out that guy, that entire setup, you force Parasite to look away from basically the area that he's looking. He's looking over towards that fire cut. He's looking towards gate. He has to turn around as well. Fellow, he's starting to kick things up. 5 kill streak for him. Very close to being fully streaked out, but he has earned that fighter power as well as the glide bomb. 2 players trying to hit in towards lights for Ghost Gaming and Complexity. They're starting to come to life here in the second set of hills.
And you know, I will say, once again, these first 2 hills did not look bad for them in the first rotation either. It really is going to come down to the next hill for me. If Ghost Gaming's able to run away with it like they did last time, it could be game. But Complexity at this point has managed to crack 100. There is still a gap of about 80 seconds in between these 2 squads. But Fellow going to use those streaks. He finds both Panda and GodRx. This duo has been together for a while. Now they find a new home here on Ghost Gaming, and they're looking very strong. This was their map pick as well. They're trying to turn this hill into another money hill for them on the second rotation.
This is one of the biggest things that you're seeing Complexity struggle. Finally start to see the SMG players pick up the slack that they've been leaving when it comes down to the slaying department, and they're slowly starting to claw their way back into this game, and it's all thanks to Fellow. Those streaks are going to be big. Parasite, he has a fighter pilot to work with as well as we do go down the stretch, but towards this tin warehouse, the only way that the fighter pilot's going to be effective is if you bring it in from that west side of the map. You can kind of squeeze it in, might be able to catch a player out of position, but if I'm Complexity, I might just hold off on using the streaks, but Parasite's going to go ahead and call this one in. He's going to get the call of how many players are inside, get some shots in there on Pander, only finds one though on Mox.
Once again, you see Ghost Gaming having that really strong hold, but this time the kill feed going to go the way of Complexity. Lacefield, though, going to try to turn it around. He's going to pull down 2 big kills, and still Ghost Gaming manages to stay alive. Pander grabs a 2-piece as well, and all of a sudden Ghost Gaming just holding on, tooth and nail, taking them down. Lacefield's going to be able to find another kill, and it is all blue, grabbing seconds. 212 to 129, just a little bit of scrap time left, and already you can see Ghost Gaming, this time it's going to be Mox again, trying to hold those back spawns so they can set up for Barrel.
You have Study overextending to try to fight for those spawns, but you know that Ghost Gaming's been rotating early throughout the entirety of the match. He's going to be fighting at least a 1 versus 2. That time, 3 players collapsed on him and took him out. But now Complexity, they're going straight through the front, trying to get something going. Glide Bomb's going to be trying to squeeze out top of barrels. They find one of GodRx, and now he will be pushing out of the hill there. Lacefield finds himself a kill. A player does fall. Complexity take over.
Well, let's see how big these spawns can be for Ghost Gaming. They can still close it out on this hill. If they manage to win, they get slotted into Pool B. If Complexity are able to win this entire series, they get slotted into Pool A. Complexity trying to turn it around in these late portions of the game. They know that Ghost Gaming can win here. They know that they need to make their stand in Barrel building, and now this hill going to be under contest 2, trying to take down Pander. Pander being quite annoying. Study finally does take him down.
A very slow game from Study. Has some nice hill time to try to make up for that one, but Ghost Gaming, they rotate early now, but the thing that we've been seeing from Complexity in the second set of rotations that they're actually able to break this up. You're seeing a lot more team coordination compared to what we saw in that first time, and look at the scores. It keeps on rising. Complexity, they're clawing their way back into this one, but now you have the players. They're going around for the pinch. Fellow's going to have this back spawn block, so when he gets this kill, it could possibly spawn the Ghost Gaming players out, but no, they get the lower dock spawn right now. They take out the player pushing towards Bust. Dashy, the last person up alive here towards this dock side. Dashy goes big, finds himself 3, finally falls. Players from Ghost Gaming spawning right back there on that bus. Right now, nobody getting inside the hill, but Complexity are trying to make their mark right now over towards Crane.
And Ghost Gaming gonna lose that spawn. We saw basically Complexity take over that pushed Ghost Gaming out. They said, okay, we're gonna pay attention to docks, and all of a sudden Complexity's able to march on over, take them down. Complexity about to break 200 on this hill as well. We got a game on our hands, Dirk.
Most definitely do. Only 20 seconds left to play before we do head back towards the Statue. Complexity having to do an excellent job of holding this one. If they're able to get the rest of the time, they'll put them at 216. And quick math for it, it's only going to be separated by 4 points in Statue. We saw how good Ghost Gaming played that one in the first set of rotations. Going to the second one, a little bit of more back and forth action between both of these sides. So we'll see Ghost Gaming, they're getting set up here to try to make a play on towards Statue. You have a player 6, Study, flanking from that barrels area, could break this entire setup that Ghost Gaming has.
Study going to try to do just that. Now, all of a sudden, Complexity, they're 5 seconds off from doing it, 5 seconds from being tied with Ghost Gaming. We haven't seen that in quite some time, and there we go. They pull on ahead, and Ghost Gaming all over the map right now. They need to try to collapse on in on the squad of Complexity. Complexity is now in a position where they could win on this hill. We've mentioned how contest-heavy this has been. Now it's going to be Godorex who breaks it up for a little bit, but all of a sudden, it's boys in red shorts back inside the hill. Dashy with a huge two-piece, going to be able to secure some extra seconds for Complexity. And right now, Complexity's looking like they may be able to close this out after Ghost Gaming has firmly been in the driver's seat the entirety of the match. And there you have it. Complexity going to be taking map number 1. Dirk, my goodness, we start off with just such a low-scoring game. It is back and forth, and then this is the pick of Ghost Gaming. They're able to take over, and in the late portions of the game, Complexity steps it up.
You hate to see it. That's really all you can say about that one. They wanted to force Complexity to play London Docks. There was a point in the game as we're heading into that second to the tin warehouse, the barrel building, where Ghost Gaming took over the entirety of the game. Like, they were almost getting full 60s on each hill going forward. But Complexity, like we said, you start to get Fellow going a little bit. You get him some streaks. Parasite, the main goal is to slow him down by making him play London Docks. He stepped it up. He was the guy who was getting those streaks and using them effectively for Complexity as well. So it was a very slow start for Complexity. But they picked things up. They built off that momentum. That's why they got the win. I sit there and look at that game, and Ghost Gaming threw that one away.
I will say, the thing with Ghost Gaming, too, when I look at this roster, Pander, Godorex, these guys are always in this position. Every Saturday, I feel like I am casting over them at one of these major events. And the thing is when are they going to find the right squad? We've asked the question before. When are they going to find the right squad where they actually make it into pools and go for a deep run? It looks like it could be this squad for sure, but Complexity going to put up a big fight. We've seen these players on the main stage before, and now we're going to be going back to London Docks for Search and Destroy. And how do you think these teams fare here? We already mentioned how huge this really could be for Ghost Gaming. It was their map pick to start things out. For Search and Destroy, is there a similar level of stress on them?
Yeah, I think it is too. I mean, we've talked about it before. Like, both these guys have so much to play for. We did just get word that Ghost Gaming, if they do win this matchup, they fall into Pool B. If Complexity win, they will be going into Pool A. So there's so much to play for on this one. And with Ghost Gaming in Search and Destroy, we looked at the beginning of the year when we were able to sit down and talk with that former roster. I mean, they're always been known for their playbook. They have so many strats in Search and Destroy, but I think one of the biggest issues they kind of ran into in Search and Destroy in the early stages of World War II was focusing so much when it came down to the strategy. So that's something that can bite you in the butt. If you're fighting a strategy every single time and you're going to be thrown a different situation, it's not going to be every time this one player falls and you rotate. There might be a different guy who dies in that setup. So there's so many different situations that really do go down with that. I really don't know how to call this one going either way. I mean, both teams have looked stellar in Search and Destroy. They have players who have been known in that Search and Destroy community who have built up from there as well.
Yeah, now I want to take a quick second right now to talk about an event that's going to be coming up very soon. It's been awesome here in Atlanta. Atlanta quickly becoming one of my favorite cities to do an esports event in. Second time we're doing it for Call of Duty. But guys, CWL Birmingham, if you're watching right now and you're across the pond, come to Birmingham. That's going to be kicking off March 30th to April 1st. If you're not over there, you can also be joining us for Seattle. I'm really excited for this event. It's the first time I've ever been to Seattle. It's going to be April 20th through the 22nd, and you can still get passes for that one, Dirk.
Yeah, lots of rain, lots of coffee, but then we go to the powerhouse of Call of Duty Open events dating back so far. Call of Duty World League Anaheim Open. That's going to be June 15th through the 18th. Anaheim Convention Center. The crowd is something like you really never see before. Team passes are going to be available April 27th. Team passes and spectator passes are also available right now. You can get all the information MLG.com/CWL Anaheim.
I don't know, that Atlanta crowd, it
is a different breed too.
It's giving Anaheim a run for its money, man. I keep saying it. People are probably going to yell at me for that, but I just love these Atlanta events. Seattle, though, is that really all I can expect? Just rain and coffee?
I've never been to Seattle, so
I don't know why I'm trusting you on anything. Let's turn our attention back to the match, something that we actually do know about Complexity versus Ghost Gaming. Complexity, in the end, they're able to come out on top. They're going to be able to take the hard point now going into Search. Who do you favor?
I'm going to go Complexity. just the way that they're able to bounce back, and a lot of these players on this roster feed off that momentum, kind of like how any player in Call of Duty really does. But once you start to get Study, he had a slow game. He was able to pick up a few crucial kills there to really break things down for Ghost Gaming. That's where the collapse started happening. Study wasn't putting up those big numbers, but he had those really impactful kills going to that. I'm looking for him to step it up in the Search and Destroy as well.
And we've seen this matchup before. Last time that we did see it, it was in the National Circuit. The National Circuit, if you do not know, Dirk, you've been casting quite a few of these matches. For everyone at home who might not be familiar with how the CWL National Circuit is actually working, how does this National Circuit go down?
Yeah, so each Friday, you guys can see the dates right there, 3/16, 3/23, 4/6, and 4/13. Those are going to be the days. We have 3 matches that we bring to you guys live. We hand pick them just to bring them onto the broadcast. These guys, you picture it as like a little online league for these guys. A nice way to get themselves funding going in towards events, winning some nice money, and as well as getting your pro points up, which ultimately is going to be a huge deal when it comes down to these open events. So we have everything kicking off. We're traveling to Mexico and Brazil. The signups are live for that as well, but really just all over. I think this is the most diverse scene that we've had when it comes down to the open bracket in terms of having the Spanish teams, French, German, Italian, everything, you name it. I mean, in the guys that are in the national circuit as well, the Canadian champions, Lightning Pandas, they find themselves into full play. So it's a nice little way to make the name for yourself and moving on forward. Like we said, these 2 teams that we have on the stream right now in the United States national circuit didn't have the greatest go around, but I'm sure when it comes down to season 2 of it, they're going to do just fine.
Yeah, and I mean, as you saw on that graphic, you guys can still sign up if you want to try your luck in the CWL National Circuit. But I want to draw our attention back to the teams. You've mentioned that they didn't necessarily have the run that we expected them to have in the National Circuit. What did go down?
It was just one of the biggest things. It was Ghost Game right off the rip. They got off to a very slow start. Complexity was doing really good. It came down to another team's like Jeopardy. If that team, I think if they lose, Complexity goes through. It's just one of those situations where you're relying on another team to go big for you. For Ghost Gaming, it was really just slow from the start. And the biggest thing that I noticed was their CTF gameplay was absolutely horrid. Just the way that they were going, they were trying to make solo pushes for flags, and that's one of the biggest takeaways, that these guys can go on tilt as well. I mean, it's not just we're looking at Parasite and Complexity and everything that goes down with them. This Ghost Gaming side with GodRx and Panda, they have that tendency, if things aren't going their way, they might go public with it, they might start talking about it a little bit more as well. So with Ghost Gaming, I know they've been making those adjustments. Like we said, the Pro League Challenge, they're able to make some pretty good runs. 2Ks, they're making excellent runs as well.
Well, both of these teams have a chance to prove themselves in a big way right now, trying to get slotted into pool play. Complexity versus Ghost Gaming. Complexity leads by 1, and a first blood going to go the way of Ghost Gaming to start off this map number 2.
Yep, now it'll be GodRx taking out Dashy there, and that when you see Fellow does get a hit marker, so they kind of get a general idea of where one player is going to be. It's going to be a 3 versus 4 right now. Complexity, Parasite able to even things up to make it 3 apiece.
All of a sudden we will see that Parasite does get traded out by Pander. Going to be a lot of presence over there by A. Bomb going to get planted down. Now Pander needs to make a big play. He does have with him Mox to try to get in, break this up with a pinch.
See Study's now going to be isolated. Mox pushes that one to the left. It's now Pander and Mox trying to work out here in a trade. 1 versus 2. One's going to be caught going through the window. Phil's able to take him out. 2 kills already in this round, trying to make it 3. 20 seconds on the clock to work with if you are Mox. Phil just holding his line over here towards the box, but Mox doing the exact same thing. Now it looks like he's going to try to invest time. Looks like he's not going to go for the flank. Pushes right back on inside. Now playing the bomb. Fellow doing an excellent job playing his life. That's why we know him as such a good search and destroy player, but is it going to be enough time? Did he get the defuse? This is one of those moments where we just have to wait and see.
We just watched that one go down.
Oh my goodness.
My goodness. Excellent awareness of the clock, and just, my goodness, an iron stomach. Ghost Gaming takes the first round.
That's one of those, like, it's such a weird situation, right? If Fellow would have waited just 0.5 more seconds to push into that tin warehouse, they would have won the round. It's just so weird that how it happens, but it's a great play by Mox, dude. Just able to be patient, just hold his line of sight, not go forward for that kill. Good read by him. I mean, it might just be the timing, but he might have just had that knowledge and got the defuse as well. So Mox already off to a good start. 2 kills for him, has the defuse, and GodRx doing excellent work with the M19 already. The kills are going down, and just like that, Dashy, last player up in a 1 versus 3 for Complexity.
Second round, second first blood for Ghost Gaming, and like you said, Mox heating up, 3 kills now. We already saw what he could do to win the round, and GodRx, nothing but beams right now for Ghost Gaming. That's the second round for them.
As we get a peek at this one, the player goes jumping right off the statue. Bing! That's a nice shot.
2 impressive rounds coming in from Ghost Gaming as well. When we jumped into this one, you said that you did slightly favor Complexity, so we're very early in this search. Complexity can turn up in a big way. What do you want to see them do to try to switch things up on Ghost Gaming?
I think you need to get aggressive. I want to try to see if they might throw a B hit going into this one. That's exactly what they're going to do. Try to isolate this player on the B side. Typically, teams only send one player over towards here to play that defense, but you see they're counteracting that. They have somebody in the close corner already. He holds his shot, he takes it. He's finally going to be able to finish that kill. Panda turns around, gets the kill there, and Study as well. Complexity, try to fight fire with fire, but the fire Ghost Gaming comes out on top of that one. Lacefield finds a kill. Ghost Gaming can do no wrong right here in this search and destroy.
Panda with the snapper, and it just 3 rounds, 3 first bloods. Ghost Gaming having a really strong start in this S&D. They looked phenomenal in Hardpoint. Complexity was able to make a fight, though, at the later portions of the game and ultimately take that map. Question is, will Complexity be able to heat up in the same way inside of this search and destroy? Ghost Gaming, though, running away with it for now. Can see they are going to have that bomb. Who's going to be their carrier? I mean, at this point, I think it's mostly... Okay, so it's going to go with Mox. Mox still 3-0. Getting kind of close to streaks, snipe in his hand. He can play relatively safe. He does want to play for those streaks at this point.
Yeah, right now, Godorex is watching the cross. He gets the call saying there's nobody going to be even in that warehouse. Mox can go ahead and go for the quick plant here. He will get the streaks off it. That's the play call you love. That's Godorex's job, not only to try to work for that first pick, but just to get that intel where the players are going to be. Mox is going to come around with the beamer on Dashy. Fully streaked out is the young god from Ghost Gaming.
Mox is not done yet. He's looking for another one. Will he find Study? He comes around the corner. He sees him. I don't think that the kill does go his way, but Ghost Gaming going to be able to chop them down. 4-0 to start things off. Oh, man. I mean, they look like a well-oiled machine at this point.
And it's one of those risks you take too. You know, Godorex right now is just absolutely piecing with the M19 in his hand. So you don't really want to try to cross there because you know he's hitting his shots. But that's the risk that you take. You want to leave that A site wide open. As soon as you allow at least 2 or 3 players to cross over there for Ghost Gaming, good luck trying to get it back. And now Mox is going to be fully streaked out. He's 5-0, has a plant, has a defuse as well. And now it's where for Complexity, Mountain has to be ran by everybody because you know the impact this can make. You're seeing a 2 stack over here towards A site, 2 over towards B. Looks like the bomb is going to be kind of just wandering towards that back A site over by Warehouse.
Really good site control coming out from Ghost Gaming on both A and B. They've split up their presence quite a little bit. Usually we see a first blood by now. These have been really fast rounds, slowing down just a little bit. It is going to be on Complexity, though, to break up this presence that Ghost Gaming has made on both of these sites. Some shots finally coming out. Dashy with the sniper rifle in hand, tries to find one, but once again, it's going to be a first blood. Beautiful kill coming out there, but it's going to be a first blood going the way of Ghost Gaming. But now only one player is going to be left up. It is Lacefield. Study coming in with the plant. All up to Lacefield right now. This could be the first round of Complexity, but Lacefield gets a little bit of work done. Now it's just a 1v1 situation. Dashy making his way on over to the site. Lacefield gets some early shots. He's got to take out the pistol. Lacefield, what are you doing? He still gets the kill! Lacefield's gonna be able to get it, and there it is! Another round for Ghost Gaming. They only need one more to have a perfect 6-0 against Complexity in map number 2. My goodness, Lacefield.
What in the hell just happened?
I'm sure that Complexity's asking the same thing.
He saw the positioning of the player, and he was right in front of the bomb. He said, I'm going to go for the defuse. He gets about halfway, goes for a re-challenge, runs out of ammo, still gets the kill? That's one Dashy needs to win. You need to make them pay for the mistakes. Ghost Gaming, match point, 1 round away from taking this one 6-0. What a way this would be to bounce back from that hard point as well.
All right, Study's going to be able to get the first blood. That's going to mean no streaks coming in. Parasite going to be able to get one as well. They do not want to go down without a fight. 2v4 situation. Still can't believe that. Dashy 1-5 at the moment. You know that he is going to be out for blood here. Complexity has their whole squad to work with. Pander's going to try to change that. He doesn't find the kill onto Study. Moving back right now. It's got to play relatively safe. Just 2 bodies up. Lacefield going to have that bomb as well. He wants to get that plant. They're going to be able to get 2 kills, but ultimately Complexity is going to be able to take their first round. Lacefield was awfully close to streaks. Was that kill enough to do it, Dirk? If we could jump on board with Lacefield to start things off for the next round, just want to see that would be even more streaks for them to work with. Already Complexity does need to play around the fact that they know streaks are in the hands of Ghost Gaming. Ghost Gaming, Revan says it quite a bit. Streaks, basically, each streak means you can make 1 mistake and just mitigate it. Lacefield has streaks as well now, so I believe that's 4 mistakes that you can make, and I don't think that they're going to make 4 mistakes on their path to getting 1 more round in their back pocket and moving on over to CTF. Game number 3 tied up with Complexity 1-1. Both of these teams trying to get slotted into pool play. Ghost Gaming on an absolute tear. Here comes the streaks from Lacefield as well. Glide Bomb gonna get called in first to start the rhythm, to start the tempo off in this round. Parasite, though, finds first blood. Streak only gonna give information, nothing in the kill feed as of yet. Lacefield has another one to work in, but doesn't want to invest everything here. GodRx gonna find one with the machine pistol. Nice and easy. Everybody roaming all over the map right now. 3 players apiece inside of this round number 7.
You see Firepower coming in now. Lacefield's going to have to pick up a headshot with that one. So Bomb is going to be down over here towards this blue van. Fellow should be able to pick this one up now. He's going over towards this B site. Bomb is going to be going down. They have a pinch right here. Pander is in a situation where he needs to watch his front. He needs to watch his back dash. He's coming around. Pander's going to be able to take out both players. Win that one. Ghost Gaming 6-1 over Complexity.
My goodness. Can we just watch Lacefield versus Dashy for a couple more hours? All right, so we are going to see ultimately Ghost Gaming and Complexity completely tied up, but Ghost Gaming, that's about as dominant as you can be inside of the search. How were they able to do it?
I'm still looking at that last play. Like, I don't know what's going through Lacefield's. I don't know what's going through Dashy's mind. That was just one that it's going to be a Reddit thread. It's going to be everything. We're going to look back and I'm like, how did Lacefield just end up winning that one?
You know, I will say, though, one more time, Ghost Gaming, they did come out incredibly strong in the first map as well, and then it was on Complexity to kind of find their footing. It's just been slow starts each map for Complexity. This time, though, there's just no catching up. They only get 1 round before Ghost Gaming is able to close it out. But, guys, we're going to be going to our Game 3 after this quick break. Do not go anywhere. We're all tied up. Both of these teams trying to make their way in.